Hey folks, Russ Bailey here. It's time for another BrushPile Fishing, the video podcast, coming to you from on the water here in Iowa. Never been to Iowa for a fishing show before. Been here for the Field of Dreams, but never for a fishing show. We just got off the water. I was with Korey Miller. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with BrushPile Fishing, the video podcast. All right, folks, welcome back to BrushPile Fishing with Mr. Korey Miller. Korey, how we doing?
I'm doing well, Russ. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, dude, thank you. Folks, so never been to Iowa for a show, and Korey called me a couple months ago, and he said, hey, he said, I'm a guide out here. He said, I guide on a couple lakes, and we went to Coralville today. But he said, we have a great fall bite. So I started following him on his Facebook page, checking out some of his posts from his guide trips, and we said we definitely want to do this because, like I say, it's a first for me. We are in the second week of October. Korey, explain to the folks not only what we did today, but some of the other options they have this time of the year fishing with you.
So we started in the river channel today, just stuck tight to that 14 foot of water, up into 12 and 10. But most of those fish were out in that deeper water. We were spider rigging, running some half-ounce minnow rigs, some natural hooks, some colored hook, some jigs with some rue baits on them, and just kind of trying to stick to pinks and yellows, and they worked good today. Had a lot of good fish, good bites, and those blackfish were definitely where we had left them, and thankful for it. So
it was pretty cool because the plan was to start out this morning spider rigging on the river channel, and he said we would catch the black crappie, just kind of spread out and stuff, and we did, and it was right off the bat this morning. It was cool, about 42 degrees when we started, and Korey, we started picking them up, boom, boom, boom. Nice big black crappie, folks. This is going to be a great show. And Korey, you said, hey, when we get enough for the show, let's go target some whites. We changed up a little bit where we were fishing.
Yeah, yep. Right now, those whitefish are grouping up. They're sticking pretty tight to that brush in some shallower water. And we had a shallow flat with some brush and stumps in it that was close enough to where we were. We could make the time go get them, and it was good. We drifted those baits in similar fashion with what we were doing this morning, just a little bit higher in the water column, a little shallower water, and actually just a little bit more speed, but it didn't matter. They didn't use it.
And folks, the bite was as frantic as when we quit it, as when we started. I mean, those fish were pounding them. And when you see this show, when we started targeting the white crappie, we ended catching 3 just beautiful big whites, and that's how we ended the show today.
Yeah, it was a great ending to a great day, Russ.
Yep. And folks, we had about 62-degree water temperature. And you said, Korey, you guys so far, like everybody else, it's been a very mild fall. You haven't had that big cold snap yet.
Nope, we haven't had a cold snap. We've had some ups and downs, but it's been pretty warm and it's been dry. We haven't had any measurable rain here in September, and none into the first couple weeks of October. So the lake is stable and the water is clear from what it normally is, and it makes it easier to find those fish and keep with them, and it's been a nice fall.
Now, one of the things that you said, we had the option today, we could do a spider rigging show, but you said right now the single pole bite is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it sure has been. With the clients, I try to get a feel for what they want to do and then go from there. And a lot of the times, if I can, try to get them a few different things in a day so they can see there's more than one way to catch them. And there's nothing more enjoyable than taking a couple people that have never had a rod over 9 foot, letting them push some 16s and let those big blackfish hammer on them.
and as far as equipment, folks, that's what we were using today, the BGJP's 16-footers, gets those baits out of the way. But I noticed you've got your single pole rod in here when you're live scoping. You like that blue diamond.
I do.
That is a super light rod.
It is. You can feel them sniff it. It's amazing. It's been a great rod for me. We've caught a lot of fish with it, and I look forward to using it on a lot more to come, no doubt.
Well, Korey, we're talking today about the fall pattern. Now, you said in the winter, a lot of times, if you have a normal winter, this is going to freeze up. So the winter bite, as far as guiding's not there, but when do you start targeting fish in the spring?
Normally, I'm on the water the first week of March.
Okay.
This year, I was on the water by Valentine's Day.
All right.
And just trying to pattern those fish and see what they're doing, how much they grew, and how many of them we got, where they're at. And it's been a good year this year. We've had some ups and downs with the water, but the fishing has remained constant. We got healthy populations of both black and white crappie, and we don't always get that here, so I'm thankful for it and thankful for all the clients that have taken the time to go with me and enjoy the time catching them.
Well, and that's one of the things, folks. Iowa is another one of those states you just don't hear about when it comes to crappie fishing. But trust me, one day on the water today made a believer out of me. Korey, if someone wants to book a trip with you, what's the easiest way and what's the different ways they can reach you?
So I'm on social media. I have a Facebook page, Sugar Bottom Crappie Guide Service. You can also give me a call. My number's 309-781-8245, and get you guys out here catching some fish and enjoying some new tactics and enjoying a day on the water.
Well, here's the other thing, folks, and you've heard me talk about this before. When we recommend a guide, it's not just because they can catch fish. We want to make sure you have a good time. And Korey, we had talked on the phone a couple times, but had never fished with him. We had a blast today, cutting up jokes, good conversation. But the other thing is, he's going to explain to you what you're doing, how you're catching these fish, and why. And that's important to somebody, especially if they're wanting to learn crappie fishing.
Right. The biggest thing you can do is teach the people that you're with to do things the right way, and hopefully they take that knowledge and they share it with other people.
Well, Korey, I tell you what, man, I sure appreciate the trip today.
Yeah.
Folks, you're not going to want to miss this show. It'll air sometime in 25, but it was a dandy. We had a great time. Before we take off, folks, a couple things. We are already planning ahead for next year's BrushPile Veterans Tournament. You want to check that out. We're going to benefit. The proceeds from the benefit will go again to Face the Fight. And if you don't know about that organization, they deal with veteran suicide. So there's no better place that we can put our proceeds to. So check that out. It's never too early to sign up for that tournament. And the thing is, we talk about this a lot. That's the one tournament. It doesn't matter if you finish first place or you're at the bottom of the list. It doesn't matter in this tournament. We're all there to have a good time and support a great cause. The other thing is, if you are living in the dark ages and you still do not have the BrushPile app on your phone, get that app, okay? It's completely free. Doesn't matter if you have an Android or an Apple phone. So many great features on that app, and one of them that we have, Korey, that we're going to have to get you on is our guide section. You can go to that guide section, folks, pick the guide, say you see this show, think, I'd like to book a trip with Korey. It'll have his bio there. You could actually hit the button and either email him or call him directly through the app. It's completely free. Just so many things on that to do. Too many to name right now. Korey, thanks again, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate your guys' time.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Stay tuned. We'll be back again with BrushPile Fishing.